From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. Despite an influx of cooler and less humid air across the southeastern U.S., Florida remains at risk for tropical threats as AccuWeather meteorologists continue to monitor multiple potential developments. Approximately 6 weeks remain in this year's Atlantic hurricane season, which runs through November 30th, and the tropics continue to remain active. AccuWeather meteorologists have called out two main areas that are most likely to spur tropical development in the next few days to a week, and one feature could still find a way to impact Florida. An area of showers and thunderstorms continues to grow over Central America in response to a gyre, which is a large and slowly rotating area of low pressure. This very weak storm could spur development in the Western Caribbean or the Eastern Pacific in the coming days. Now, some of the same energy from the Caribbean system may survive into the Eastern Pacific. The same gyre could spur new development in the Eastern Pacific, which then could become a threat for areas farther to the north along the coast of Mexico next week. The Western Caribbean zone is not the only area that could give birth to a tropical storm. AccuWeather lead hurricane expert Alex De Silva said the team has been tracking a wave of low pressure that moved off the coast of Africa earlier this month. That feature has been showing some signs of life off and on in recent days, but could be entering a much more favorable area for tropical development this week as it nears the Leeward Islands in the northeastern Caribbean. Between Friday and Sunday, the Atlantic feature will have conditions conducive to further organization, including low wind shear and warm water. Because of the growing threat, AccuWeather meteorologists have begun referring to the feature as a tropical rainstorm to begin to raise public awareness of the situation. De Silva added that it is possible for the feature to ramp up quickly to a tropical depression, a tropical storm, and a hurricane as its core approaches or passes near the leewards late this week. But as that system travels farther to the west, whatever it becomes could run into more hostile conditions for strengthening and organization. Like the conditions with the Western Caribbean system, a path into Florida also appears to be blocked, but that could change over time depending on the position and the strength of other weather features. There are two factors that could suppress any tropical feature that may develop and track toward Florida. The first is the larger islands of the northern Caribbean, such as Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. The tall mountains could rip away at any system that tracks overhead. The other factor is a complex weather pattern, including the jet stream setup over the southern Atlantic Ocean, the eastern Gulf Coast of the U.S., and over the Bahamas. A storm at the jet stream level of the atmosphere, along with a large area of high pressure over the southeast, could steer away any tropical system. However, if the jet stream or high pressure weakens, it could allow a tropical feature to venture close to Florida. Because of the upcoming threats from torrential downpours and gusty thunderstorms, at the very least, interests in Central America, southern Mexico, and the northern islands of the Caribbean should closely monitor the tropics this week, as there is the potential for a direct hit from a formidable tropical cyclone. Any impacts to Florida would probably not be until the beginning of next week at the earliest. The same feature is working to possibly protect Florida from a direct hit by a major tropical system in the next week or so, will lead to stiff winds from the east and the northeast that will raise seas, create some dangerous surf, and lead to beach erosion and coastal flooding along the southern Atlantic coast of the U.S. Cities vulnerable to tide levels above astronomical levels, such as Miami, are likely to experience street flooding during the extended period that may last a week or more. That's all for now. For more stories and regional forecasts, visit AccuWeather.com, and for your local forecast at your fingertips, including a hurricane tracker, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day, be safe, and I'll be back tomorrow with more weather news.